Welcome to your notes on the levels of organization. Previously, in your characteristics of life, you talked about how cells made tissues, tissues made organs, organs made systems, and systems made an organism. So here we're going to start with the organism, which is an individual. And then we're going to move into populations, community, ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. So we're continuing into our ecosystems, or ecology, the study of interactions and relationships within the environment, levels of organization. So the first one is an organism. That is the individual, and they are made up of different systems. So it's just an individual living thing. It could be a plant, it could be an animal, like all the different ones we have up here, but it is just one. You are an organism, an individual living thing. When you put a bunch of organisms together that are the same species, you get a population. So a population is the number of a specific species in a specific area. So if we are looking at the African elephant that's only found in a certain area of Kenya, that is a population. Okay. If we look at just the seagulls on Anaheim High School campus, that is a population. We also have a population of unkillable cockroaches and pigeons. So we have many populations. Plus we have a lot of plant populations, but I don't know their names. When you put different populations together of different plants and animals, you have a community. So a community is all living things in a given area, plants and animals, fungus, bacteria, anything that's alive. So in this picture here, all of the fish, all of the coral, all of the other little plants that I can't see in here, that makes up the community. It's all the living things. And our picture over here, the lions, the wildebeest, the grass, the shrubs, the bushes, the trees, and all the insects and other things we can't see, that makes up the community. All of the living things. When you put different communities together, it's the ecosystem. So an ecosystem is our next level up, and that's all the living and non-living things in a given area. So if we have the same picture where all the living things make up a community, it becomes an ecosystem when we add in the water, the air, the dirt, the sand, and yes, there is air and water. Over here, again, ecosystem, living like plants and animals, non-living like rocks and air and soil and water. So ecosystems, living and non-living. Ecosystems, when those are put together, they make up biomes. So a biome is a region that shares a similar climate, which means they have similar temperatures and similar rainfall amounts. When that happens, they have similar plants, and then the plants can support similar animals. And so there are terrestrial biomes, that means land biomes. There's also aquatic biomes, which would be our oceans and our lakes. But notice you can see kind of the biomes run across these latitude lines here, because then they're roughly going to get the same temperatures and they're going to get the same amount of rainfall. So these are just some of them. We'll be going into biomes more later on. When you put biomes together, it makes up the biosphere, which is our biggest level and our level of organization. And this is where life exists on the planet. So we're looking at on the surface. So all the plants and animals that are on the surface. We're looking in the air, the atmosphere, where the birds are. You're looking in the water, the hydrosphere, where all of our mammals and fish and things that are in the ocean, corals, everything there. So bio, living, sphere, round, living round thing. So when we look at this last one again, we'll go backwards, biggest to smallest. The biosphere is made of different biomes. Biomes are made of different ecosystems. which are living and non-living things. Ecosystems are made up of communities, all living things. Communities are made up of populations, which is a specific species. And the populations are made up of individuals. And that is the end of our level of organization notes.